Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers and what their offseason has been like. If you guys have followed it, let's get right in today and talk about it. I want to hear your thoughts down below. This team is definitely a top 6 seed in the East, and definitely they've had an interesting offseason. We're still waiting for the Colin Sexton news, and if they do bring back Colin Sexton, that means somebody has to get cut. And the two guys who have no guaranteed money on their contracts are Dean Wade and Lamar Stevens. So that's who I assume will get cut. But Moses Brown, Ed Davis, Brandon Goodwin, RJ Nembhard, Rajon Rondo, and Colin Sexton all became free agents. RJ Nembhard and Isaiah Mobley signed two-way contracts. They drafted Ochai Agbaji out of my school, the University of Kansas, and they gave Darius Garland a max contract. Robin Lopez, Raul Neto, and Ricky Rubio all signed deals with the Cavaliers, and now the Cavaliers roster is basically complete with Isaiah Mobley and RJ Nembhard on two-way deals. Now, they addressed the backup point guard and the backup center position, upgraded from Ed Davis to Robin Lopez. They have Raul Neto and Ricky Rubio. Raul Neto was basically signed to fill the need at backup point guard behind Darius Garland until Rubio can return to play. However, using another spot to sign Neto filled up the team's available roster spots. And Robin Lopez being brought in on a 1-year minimum deal was awesome. Ricky Rubio, 3-year, $18.4 million deal. That's a great deal, basically paying him $6.1 million a year. And then you think about this, that the biggest thing was Garland getting that 5-year, $193 million ticket extension. And then obviously they extended a qualifying offer to Sexton before free agency began to make him a restricted free agent. And we're going to see what happens. Supposedly he wanted $20 million a year. They're offering him a 3-year, $13 million deal, which I believe it's 3 years, $39 million deal, which isn't terrible. Now, the current roster looks like this: Ochai Agbaji, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Caris LeVert, who they also said they rather have Caris LeVert long-term than Colin Sexton. Robin Lopez, Kevin Love, Lauri Markkanen, Evan Mobley, Isaiah Mobley, RJ Nembhard, Raul Neto, Isaac Okoro, Cedi Osman, Ricky Rubio, Lamar Stevens, Dean Wade, and Dylan Windler. Will Dylan Windler actually freaking make an impact? We expect the starting lineup for next season to probably be Darius Garland, either Caris LeVert or Isaac Okoro. I think they're going to go Isaac Okoro. Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Lauri Markkanen, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen, with Caris LeVert, Ricky Rubio, Cedi Osman, and being the first 8 guys off the bench when Ricky Rubio is fully healthy, Raul Neto to start the season. But yeah, Cedi Osman, Caris LeVert, Ricky Rubio / Raul Neto, and Ochai Agbaji off the bench. Even Kevin Love there too. The guys that I don't expect to see much of: Dean Wade, Lamar Stevens, Dylan Windler, Isaiah Mobley, RJ Nembhard, Robin Lopez. Lopez only if an injury occurs. Dean Wade and Lamar Stevens, same thing. If Kevin Love or Lauri Markkanen or Cedi Osman gets hurt, that's when you'll see them play. Raul Neto will play in the beginning of the season until Ricky Rubio is healthy. Dylan Windler, I don't know. But Ochai Agbaji, I think he's going to be coming in day one to come in and stretch the floor, be a shooter for them. They also drafted Luke Travers and Khalifa Diop, but they're both going to be playing overseas. And with this team, I mean, first off, I think the Cavaliers have a good squad. One of my things with this team is that, look, as fun as they are, they improved their offense off the bench. Even if Colin Sexton doesn't return, we assume that our man Caris LeVert's going to come off the bench because they need off the bench scoring. Yes, Kevin Love's coming off the bench, but if you have Okoro off the bench instead of LeVert and LeVert starts, your bench would be Rubio, Okoro, Cedi Osman, Kevin Love, and Ochai Agbaji, and I guess Colin Sexton if Sexton returns. But with that, there's not much creation off the bench. Caris LeVert's a better six-man in terms until Ricky Rubio comes back. And you always want a guy who can be basically a 20-point scorer off the bench. You always want to have a guy in theory who could be that 20-point scorer, who can do what needs to be done. Now, I will admit it has become interesting to see the whole situation with them, because this is a team that, if we look at them, they needed to their problem was, first off, their defense slipped when injuries happened. So they knew they had to get that depth up. which they went out and they did. They got the depth, okay? And now at the guard spot, with Sexton, if he returns, they have Garland, Rubio, Raul Neto, and Sexton playing, who can all play point guard. And even Caris LeVert, you can argue, can play some guard. Then for their wing positions, which, they run 2 wings. They don't really have a shooting guard. They run 2 wings most of the time since they've gone this big. It's usually Okoro, Jetty Osman, Caris LeVert, Lauri Markkanen. Now it's going to be Ojai Abaji. You even seen Dean Wade and Lamar Stevens play the wings sometimes. And it'll definitely be interesting to see how they do that. And again, I think Lamar Stevens, Dean Wade, and Dylan Windler are going to be the bottom of the rotation, and Robin Lopez. Those 4 guys will be 11 through 15 in the spots, with, I think, 10 being basically Colin Sexton, because I'd rather be, or Raul Neto. I don't even know, man, because I like Sexton, but obviously they're going to have to cut Dean Wade or Lamar Stevens if they bring back Sexton. And the team has kind of said that they rather have Caris LeVert long term. So the whole situation is just interesting in all hell, because you don't know what's really going to happen and who they have their eyes set on. But as every moment passes, more information will be revealed. But yeah, I think the Cavaliers, if you look at it, they're definitely a top 6 seed. They won't be a play-in team. And I think last year, part of the reasons they had that second half slump was because of injuries. Their defense slipped and their offense off the bench slipped. They didn't really have any creation once injuries hit. And I think they did a good job bringing in Rubio, bringing in Raul Neto, drafting Ochai Abaji, Caris LeVert last year. And it's all starting to work out really well for them. And I think when you look at this team, this is definitely a team people should be afraid of, a team that has a lot of potential, a team that can probably go very far in the NBA playoffs. I mean, this team could be the Atlanta Hawks of 2 years ago. So I want to hear your thoughts. Oh, if you guys agree, that was a strong sip of Red Bull. But yeah, so that's basically it for me. I'm going to milk this to 8 minutes. It was a good video, I thought. But as you guys know, time will tell. Do you guys think Colin Sexton should return? I know we've made a lot of Cavaliers videos in the past, 24 hours, and I'll admit, kind of excessive. But you can suck my dick, because I know you guys have enjoyed them. So I don't know if you guys have, but that's my assumption that you guys have. I mean, one would like to assume that he's done the right thing. But that's basically it from me, guys. Hope you guys do have a great day, because I know I will. Till next time.